Play Expo, Blackpool 2024. Let's talk Play Expo. I've been to Play Expo before. Went there last year. It's the second year I've been there. Anytime I talk about gaming expeditions, gaming markets and meetups, I've always, since last year, since the Play Expo in Blackpool, I know it's been the longest running and it's been on for 10 years or so. I think it used to be in Manchester before it moved to Blackpool. Am I right with that? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, first time I ever went was last year. I've always heard about it from other tubes. Everyone says, you've got to go. It's such a good crack. And ever since last year, it's been in my top 3 for meetups. Always said I loved OLL in Norwich, even though I think that's done now. I went there once, which was a year or two ago, a couple of years ago maybe, and had a great time. But like all of these expos and meetups, it's who you... There are other things that shape it. You know, some just a market, some are just gaming, some have a main stage, some have indie developers, and then some manage to have bits of everything. And Play Expo has it all and in abundance. Now, I would say, like, we had a laugh last year and it was a good turnout. There's a lot of people there, just great atmosphere. But I would honestly say that off the back of it this year, just off a social meetup alone and meeting up with gamers and everyone just from the tubes and everyone, not just people from YouTube, but anyone like, you know, friends from other channels and just mates in the gaming community, I would say this is the #1, was actually my best time I've had. You've probably seen other videos by the time this airs. This is going to be like 4 or 5 days after the event, almost a weekend after the event. I've only seen a couple of people I know, Alex Ustar Gamers, put up a video. So I'll probably watch that by the time I've uploaded this. And I've caught Retrohead Steve. I've seen a bit of his video, caught it at night the other day when I was in bed. Don't worry, Steve, didn't send me to sleep. It's just how I like to wind down. I like to put your beautiful face, mate, up on the TV. Right, I'm digressing, fantasising about Retrohead Steve. So yeah, I'm sure everyone's talked about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everyone who's there has talked about it. But if you wasn't, or if you was there and you were buzzing, you want to relive that hype, I'm going to show you sort of my experiences and the times we had. I'm going to show you some pickups, the games I picked up from the market, the last we had, the games we played, put up all footage on the screen. I'm going to try and do it like time-lapse. There's a lot of footage, so while I'm talking, you're going to see it at about 1.5 or 2 times speed. Don't worry, I wasn't running around causing a fire hazard. So what's great about Blackpool Expo? First of all, there's beer. You can be drink. It's like an airport. From 10 in the morning, people are on the booze. Love that. Absolutely love it. But yeah, so it's a Saturday and Sunday event. Last year, got a weekend pass. But on the Sunday, it literally went there just to say goodbye for an hour or two. And I said to the lads, Alex, Ustar Gamer, because I went with him last year. We drove up together. This time, Retro Ed UK came with us. He actually drove us and chauffeured us all the way up, me and Alex. And last year, like I said to Alex, I was like, look, we could have just got home a lot earlier. Do you know what I mean? We said goodbye to everyone on a Saturday and then we ended up doing the same thing on a Sunday. It's a bit pointless and you know you're leaving at some point. So let's just go up on a Friday and then we'll do the all-day Saturday. So that's what we did. So we stayed at Cleverley's again, which is near, well, where Nintendo Jim lives. I hope I haven't exposed his location. If the government are looking for you, mate, they've probably found you off the back of this video. They could be one of the 10 watchers of this vid. Forgot what I was making. I thought I was making Cinema Classic. So yeah, he recommended. I know a lot of the lads stayed there in the previous years, like Cy Ginger Hippie Gaming. He couldn't make it this year. Retro Bait has stayed this place, but he didn't want to stay there again. Everyone's always shocked that we stay there. Me and Alex love it. Even Martin at the Hobby Lodge, I think he hated it. Alex was telling me a few years ago. But I love it because it's basically, to describe it, it's like a bit like if you was down Southend on Sea and you wanted to stay the riffraff, you'd stay down the road sort of thing, you know, a couple stops like down the road. And that's a bit like what Blackpool's like. So you've got the Norbeck, which is where the venue is, and there's hundreds of rooms. They've got their own problems in the Norbeck, you know, when it rains inside, that sort of stuff. But a massive venue. It's a bit like Butlins, there's all sorts going on in there. When I say like Butlins, I mean it's like a lot of family stuff. There is swimming there, there's a big buffet, there's always kids running around, but it's like multiple function. It's a big place for people to go for Blackpool. They've got hundreds of rooms, I mean hundreds, and it's in a great location. So there's loads of people staying there which aren't attending the event, which is like, you know, just separate to it. But a lot of the lads will stay there. So I know like Paul Retrobait stayed up there. So a lot of them had like rooms and suites. Could we call them suites? Up on the penthouse suite of the top of the castle. But we stayed at Cleverleys, which is down the road, which is literally like 2 or 3 stops on the tram. It was such nice weather, glorious weather for the weekend. A lot better than it was down south in Essex. There was no wind, and normally when you're on a coast, like Southend's not a proper coast. It's the Thames, let's be honest. But when you're on a proper coast, it's normally really, really windy. You know, if you're down in Brighton, that saying, piss in the wind, I get that. I've had a piss once outside a club in Brighton, and I went for a piss on the beach, and it just went straight in my face. I was eating my own urine, so I get it. But yeah, it was really torrential wind last year, and the year before that was torrential rain. What everyone was telling me, and I saw the pictures. But this time it's glorious, no wind, and it was beautiful sunshine. We even walked from Cleverleys on a Saturday morning to the Expo. That's how good the weather was. So, like I'm sure people have said, if you've seen the videos, everyone gets up there on a Friday. There's a place, I think it's called Jumping Jack, which is like connected to the Norbeck, like a sort of another spin-off bar. And everyone normally ends up meeting in there. There's pool table and stuff, even though we didn't really play much pool this time. It was a great turnout last year, but this time it was even better. It seemed like everyone was there. Because there's lots of people. I go to as many expos and markets as I can. So I see lots of people, but there's some people who you just never see. Who are quite far away in the country. You know, I do get about as much as I can. Perfect example, like, you know, the Welsh lads like Retrohead Steve and Craig Goodwin's place. I've seen Craig before at Black Country Games Fair stalling out a few years ago. But I don't think I've met Retrohead Steve. I don't think I met him last year. I don't know if he was there last year, actually. But yeah, get to see those guys because they was up there. So it's just like a big central meeting point for everyone. Again, Cybersnake J, I don't know if he was at Wolverhampton, so at Revival. So I think I've met him twice now, and I think both times have been up, at Play Expo. But yeah, it was absolutely loads of people there. There was absolutely loads. Pete on a retro tip, he's always there, but I did see him not too long ago over at the Nottingham Fair, whatever that one's called. I've forgotten now. Notts Game Expo. But anyway, I haven't wrote anything down, haven't wrote a long list, because I knew I'd forget someone and miss someone out. I'm sure everyone's covered that. So I won't tag in every hundreds of channels or anything like that. This might end up into a bit of a 2-part video. So I'm just going to talk about the day and my pickups, but then there is something from the pickups which I think deserves its own dedicated video, which is a particular game, which I'll go through. So I was looking for Sega Game Gear games. I've really slowed down my buying this year. So I'm literally just buying things that I want to play. So I'm still enjoying playing my Game Gear, still enjoying playing my Wii, but I haven't played much Mega Drive or PS1 or anything like that. But having said that, while I was at the Expo, I was like looking at Dreamcast games, Sega Saturn games, and you know, your mind goes off on one. But yeah, I'm trying to be good because we've spent a lot of money at the house this year doing different bits. So I need to, basically like a 1 in 1 out policy. So when I want something, I'll just trade stuff in. I know I've said it before, but that is what I'm doing. That is what I'm still doing. So yes, we had the laugh on the Friday night. Everyone had a good old crack, baby. It was really, really good fun. Then some of the lads, Tootie and some of the other boys like Dana and quite a few people went off to Shenanigans. I've never been Shenanigans, right? But I have seen it, and it's always chaos in there. And I like, because I want to enjoy the Saturday and I want to be on the beers, you know, from midday as well and enjoy the next day. I didn't want to be like hanging, and I only had one. That's a big baguette. One like thing at a service stop. I didn't eat a lot, and I normally eat quite a bit. You need that bit of carbs soak up the alcohol. And yeah, them lads went there. We made a decision not to go. And you kind of feel like you're missing out. I was like, oh, we should have gone. But I'm kind of glad in a way because I was able to enjoy the next day, and we were still hanging a little bit because we still had a fair few at the Jumping Jacks or whatever it was called. Sounds like a club, but it isn't. It's just a live little bar. And then, pub. And then, yeah, we headed back to Cleverleys. Same scenario, little pizza from the little kebab shop. And then, yeah, we had all the next day, played absolutely loads of games. Some of the standout ones that me and Alex was playing was VR Racer. I played it on the Mega Drive, but I've never played in the cab. You'll see all different footage come up on the screen. There's lots of different arcade cabs he was playing. I said last year, I was like, I don't feel like we played enough games, but obviously it's all about the meet up and social. But I feel like this year we met more people, chatted to more people, and played more games. But me and Alex are on it this time. As soon as we got in, we was like, right, go to the gaming market while it's quietest. We did the rounds of the game market, and we was like, right, that's done. Now let's go into play some games. We were straight on the arcade cards, played a few, and then right back in the game market, and then back in, right, play a few more arcade cabs, right, another round the retro game market, then on the microcomputers, then back on the arcade. I feel like we played loads. We did play a lot. Alex smashed me at point blank. I smashed him at some of the racing games, VR racing, and I was a king of Daytona as well. I was absolutely flying on that, but I had a lot of practice in my local arcade, Neon Knights. I didn't tell them, but that track, very good at that track. Any other track, useless. But that little novice track, I was fine on it. I know when to drop it to second gear. The only one time you got to change gear. So yeah, I'm good at that. And I got completely taken out by Paul Retrobait, right? It was smashing into me. And in Daytona, once your car's damaged, that's it. Like, you just can't recover from that. And I didn't see him the whole race. And I must have had like a half-decent lap time. And then right in the last lap, I was like, I can see you. That's you in the distance. And then he just messed up the last corner, went into the wall. And I just picked him on the line and done him. So absolutely epic. Played lots of pinball. Played Pengu, which I've never played before in the arcade cab. My favourite game was Busy. Hyper Sports 84. My favourite arcade game of all time. Couldn't get on it. It's a very popular arcade cab. But every time someone went on there, I looked to see if there was... how they're getting on, and they were doing good scores. I'm like, they're good. They're going to loop the machine. Then you look, oh, now they're playing 4-player. It was hard. I saw one guy who was mustard on it. Mustard. I wanted to interview him to say, why are you so good at this game? He was an older gentleman than myself. He probably was there when that game was originally in the arcade. So he would have just blew me away, literally. Yeah, played lots of different microcomputer games. Saw some of the like indie developers. So we'll go through all that bit in a bit. Go through those bits in a bit. So I'll tell you what, I'll show you some of the pickups in a second. But so after the Saturday, actually at the event, well, why is the event so good? First of all, it's because you've got the massive retro gaming market, right? Which is as big as any market. Yeah, not maybe the massive ones like Doncaster or whatnot, but some of the expos you go to, things they sell. You know, like down in Brighton, for example, the one in Norwich, even Nottingham, I'd say. This is actually bigger. And what I love about expos is a good one is when you've got things you can buy and things you can play. And all those expos I've mentioned do have that. But this has a very good market, standalone market. And then it's got all of those arcade cabs, you know, 30 arcade cabs. Stand up and sit down races included. They had literally tables, I'd say 10 tables long of like microcomputers, you know, 8 bits and stuff like that. You know, Mega Drive, what am I trying to think of? NES, Master System, and then things like you don't normally see. You know, there was a Mark III Master System. You know, they've got all the speckies and televisions and all like different stuff and rare consoles, you know, you don't normally see. Proper like microcomputer stuff and cassette-based things. And then there's like some PC gaming stuff, LAN parties of like, what do you call it? Gears of War? No, Halo. Getting old, am I? Gears of War? Halo. And then you've got the main stage. My only criticism is the main stage wasn't popping. It took me ages to realise. Really disappointed. Again, forgot my Doom copies. Forgot it on the PS1. Forgot it on the Atari Jaguar. Forgot to bring them. Saw John Romero there. Because he was there early, like, bang, could have spoke with him right there. Could have got him to sign it. Forgot. What are you going to do? But then my highlight of last year was the fact that... he was playing on stage. It was like a big thing. Do you know what I mean? You get to watch people playing. There was a sensible soccer tournament, Bomb Man. I remember them all. It was like good banter. It was in the middle. But this time it was at the end. I thought that's a good way because now you've got more people can see and get involved. You can fit more games in. But he never done it. He never done that thing. And once it dawned on me, went out for a bit of like food from the chip shop, chips, rice and curry sauce, Northern Classic, or gravy, whatever it is. And I was like, hold on a minute. He's not going to be on. We checked the flyers. And Alex's like, you're right. He's not. I was like, he's got to be. And then Alex clocked, he was like, there's no announcer. That's why it was dead. So my only criticism is the announcer. If she was there, the whole thing would have been 10 out of 10. But for me, it's still 10, just because of social meetup. Right, I feel like I'm changing stories around. I was talking about shenanigans earlier. Yeah, so we wanted to keep it level-headed and go back and enjoy the Saturday. So yes, didn't go, so we stayed there. And then it was good, because then Saturday night, in the Saturday, I was getting quite tired in the Expo later on. I had a few beers, a few waters in between. I was like, cool, lucky I didn't stay out later. But then we did go out Blackpool. And yeah, it was, I would say, I think it was the first night I had fireworks. It was a lot busier than it was last year. I would say it was as busy as London on New Year's Eve. I shit you not, it was that busy. It was absolutely rammed. Everyone good spirits. There's never any trouble. When I was up there was no trouble anyway. Can't speak for the community of Blackpool and every bloody weekend. Don't play your stags around what I say. Or hens, ladies. I know you're watching. There's no ladies watching this. Come on. Right. And then, so next to Shenanigans, there is Yates. Do you remember Yates? I say I remember Yates. There's none down south anymore, but they're up north. There's not one in Southend anyway. There's probably one in Chelmsford. So we went in Yates for a few drinks next door. And then next door to that, there's another lively bar. And then that was really good. And we had these little Bootleg John stickers. Big up Bootleg John. These. And we were sticking them everywhere. It's from Retrohead's channel, Retrohead UK. Check him out. And then you'll know the lore of Bootleg John. Anyway, pissed Paul, Retrobait, pulled out his pockets and he was going, what's this Bootleg John, this Rambo guy? And he's been picking up all the badges and stickers everywhere, not knowing it was related. It's so funny. And then we come out of there looking for a karaoke bar. Couldn't find it from last year. And what was hilarious, I don't know if I can put footage on the screen because it wasn't my video. I'll leave it for someone else. So I don't want to ruin it. But there's a bar, I call it the zombie bar. And apparently the lads had a laugh at it a few years back. So me and Alex went there looking for it last year, found it. It's like a weird, I don't know how to describe it. I call it a zombie bar. Like weird cocktails. Weird, I don't know how to describe it. They like celebrate death in there or something. I don't know. It's a strange place. Like monsters and weird. Very, very quirky. I don't even know if it's for the right reasons. It's very peculiar. And they have some weird bands on and stuff. And everyone had a good crack there a few years ago, apparently. So me and Alex went there last year. It was dead. One drink left. Saw everything in there. You know, like when you're in Hard Rock Cafe and there's stuff on the walls. Imagine that. Like there's all things popping off. Like it's got charisma. It's got character. It's got personality around horror and stuff like that. But it wasn't popping off. But anyway, we did what we did on a Saturday. Oh, some of the other lads actually went up to like, on the 8-Bit Boy, they went up to like Arcade Club, Blackpool. But I was worried because I've been gaming all day. I thought if I go in more darkness in the games, I just need some fresh air. So I'm glad we made a decision we did. But yeah, sorry boys, we couldn't join you. But yeah, so a few people in different places. And then, yeah, so some of the lads ended up on the Saturday night going to that zombie bar. And honestly, I hope there's, if anyone wants to see the footage, DM me. I'll show you because I got the video on WhatsApp that someone sent me. It's been passed around across the community. There's a guy just like on stage. And I don't know what's going on. He's got a ski mask on. He's rapping shirtless, tops off. I'm all for tops off. And then there's a guy, someone, and then Mr. Blobby's on the stage. And at one point, the words shouted out, "Who wants to see me, Mr. Blobby?" I don't know who wants to see that. Maybe we all do deep down. But it was like carnage, like some weird, I don't know, some rock, rap, metal, heavy band performing. And everyone had a laugh there. But yes, everyone just did what they did and had a laugh. It's quite hard to keep everyone together because obviously when you try and move on, someone's always getting another drink and whatnot. But yes, we had a good laugh Saturday. And then we went back after like a good old skinful. It was a nightmare getting the tram. They weren't letting us on. It was drama trying to get back on the tram. Managed to get back on the tram after waiting ages. Apologies, Retrohead UK in advance. I made him order an Uber. Then I made him cancel it as a tram turned up. So I'm sorry, mate. I'm an angry drunk. Apologies. And then what else happened? Yeah, we went back to the hotel and me, Alex and Ed was staying there. At the Regal, it's called. It's called the Regal. Oh, I'm going to stay there every year. It's hilarious. I love it. Uncomfortable room, I would say. But yeah, we stayed down there. It's a lovely area, actually. Really nice. Area down there. Wouldn't mind living there, to be honest with you. And there was karaoke. It's always popping off. Like even on the Friday night, we got back in with our pizzas and it was banging in the bar. Like it just seems to go on forever. Like even though the town's dead, like you get off at Cleverley's and then like you hear these odd bars in the background. It's actually booming for a bit of nightlife down there. Some good bars. So yeah, we stood there with the old karaoke until the early hours. And I was in a bad way coming back Sunday morning. An absolutely bad way. But I didn't have to drive, so it was fine. Picked up an arcade cab as well from one Pete for another Pete. Offered Pete on a retro tip for my mate Pete, who's building a bar game shed thing in his garden. Still got that downstairs. And I saw Pete today, the other Pete. There's too many Petes to keep talking about it. Right, I feel like I've waffled for 20 minutes. And you've seen footage, so I'm just going to wrap it up by showing you, keep it short and sweet. I'm going to show you what I picked up. And then, yeah, I feel like there's more stories to be had. But basically, everyone there had a laugh. Yeah, it was a good crack. Some people went on the missing list again. I didn't see Tootie the next day on the Saturday. Saw Dane a few seconds while he was at the pinball on the Saturday. But then he said, he goes, who's coming shenanigans again? He goes, I only come here to get pissed. Fair enough. But yeah, everyone had a good old crack. I'd have to go shenanigans one year. Maybe next year on the Saturday night. But yeah, it was just chaos in it. All the bars were good. It was on Blackpool Saturday night was on top form. But yeah, if I went out Friday night, I wouldn't have made the Saturday. And obviously you're planning around to go to that. But yeah, any other meetups like that, or just anyone gaming related meeting up for a piss up, let me know because I'll be there. But yeah, it was a good old crack. I'm trying to think of people I met for the first time I haven't met before. I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll come to me. Forgotten names. Yeah, it was really good. Oh yeah, bumped into a few other people, like bumped into Rusty Gamer from the Discord. Check out the description if you want to join the Discord. Who else to bump into? Bumped into Boba from the Discord of Unofficial Controller Podcast. On the back of the t-shirt, that one is. Do the old Rob Van Dam. And I bumped into the Monkeries. So Tom and Hannah from YouTube, from the Monkeries. Bumped into those guys as well. So that was pretty cool. So big up Boba, Tom and Hannah. So right, I had on a day a t-shirt with Crash Bandicoot, Ooga Booga. It's not Ooga Booga, is it? Why do I keep saying that? Got to show some respect. The guy passed away as well, didn't he? Waka Waka? I don't know. I'm confusing games. Anyway, me and the missus love Crash Bandicoot. And then I saw this little baby. I thought I could stick him up. Little plushie. And I got him from Light Gun Games. Because I always see Light Gun Games at every event. And I talk to him all the time. But he mainly sells Pokemon cards. He's a really nice guy. I feel bad because I never buy anything from him. I just chat to him and then distract him and walk off. Distract his business. So I was glad to buy something from him, actually. So I got that. Bargain. Right, who wants a copy of Starwing for the Super Nintendo? I bought a couple of gifts for people. I bought something for Retrohead Steve because he said he was looking for a game, Moon Patrol on the 2600. And I try to remember everything everyone's looking for when I ask him, what are you looking for today? And if I find it, I'll get it for him. And I found that. I was well proud of myself. Gave it to Steve. He found a copy as well. But there were different versions, labels. So that was cool. Pete on a Retro Tip was looking for a loose copy of Starwing on the SNES. Really excited. I found one for him. And he found one for a £5 2 minutes before. I paid £7 for that. So I'll tell you what I will say about the... yeah, if anyone wants me, guys, let me in the comments know, or in the Discord. I'll send that to you. I'll pop it in a jiffy. No charge. I'll even pay for postage because I'm a nice guy. Well, I'm not. I just want to say room. There's no room in here. Please take this game from me. Yeah, hit me up in the comments, guys, if you want that. What else was I going to say? Rusty Gamer gave me a couple of games, actually. I think I might have them, but he said I can swap them on the old Game Gear. Lovely bloke he is. He was on form with the banter, proper on form. He was there with his missus. Right, I've got about 7 or 8 Game Gear games. I'll put footage on the screen because I'm not lazy. I will do it, I hope. Right, I've lost the games. Rusty Gamer's given to me. They're in another bag. I haven't got them here. Rusty Gamer, I'm going to give you a shout in the next video, mate. Apologies. That's what I was worried about. It was so chaos when I got out of the car. Different bags. I put back. Ed had some of my stuff. I gave some of my stuff. I put in Alex's backpacks. My own fault. It is my own fault. All I would say is vote for Bootleg John. That's all I would say. Right. Let's talk about these, baby. Right, so I have got here. Right, so that's what I was going to do. I was slagging off the event. Hold on a minute. Let me finish my slag off. The market's the only downside. Everything was very overpriced, right? And I never really, well, I do now. I never used to when I go to game markets check prices because I just didn't. I thought everyone's in the industry, people know the prices. But I have noticed sometimes you do pay a bit much. And obviously you can always haggle. But I feel bad haggling if something's already at a good price. So I look, and if it's a lot, I try and get money off. And I think they're used to it. And I bought just cash. And I thought they'll just knock money off, which they do. But every time I looked, because I remember this last year, I said, you'll find one game, for example, I don't know, anything, FIFA 12, yeah? Terrible game, but I've said it. One end of the market for £10, and you'll see at the other end of the market for £30. Do you know what I mean? You'll see one game, the same game, on different stalls, like priced completely differently. And that was the same this time, really. Not in terms of price differently, but every time I looked at something, there were certain stalls that were priced not twice, but actually 3 times CEX. So obviously I'm just looking at Game Gear games. I looked at some Wii games, and say it was like £10 in CEX. It was like between 20 and 30 in there. So there was a lot of Game Gear games loose, which I actually left. I didn't get any Wii games because they all were priced too high. So I would say the prices were high, but I think they're expecting always to get money off, but sometimes they don't. So, but you've got to ask. But obviously they do it because they can. And obviously there's something you're looking for that's rare, and fair enough. But for me, someone that's got local retro shops, me so retro hunter, CXs galore, and I go to lots of gaming events. Like some people I know, they go to like 1 or 2 events a year, their markets, and they haven't got a local retro gaming shop, independent store. They have to travel to CX, they might not drive, so they fill their boots. They take hundreds of pounds, you know what I mean? But for me, it's more about looking for bargains. So, for example, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, these are all very good prices. So I got that £5. I managed to get the games similar to CX or cheaper, so did really well. And there was actually the same game on the same stall for £6 in the same condition. The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants. Don't remember being a good game at all. The Indiana Jones, you're wondering, is that the same as Master System Mega Drive? Is that the same game? Same engine. Could be the same game. Batman Returns, again, got that on the Mega Drive. Batman Returns. What's the one I got on the SNES? Oh no, Batman Returns got on the SNES. That's a really good beat 'em up. Yeah, hopefully it's the same as that. Tasmania. I feel like I've got that. Oh, maybe that is the one he gave me. Taz. Maybe Ross the Gamer gave me Taz. Can't see from here. I'll break my neck. The 2 Batman games. There's Batman Forever. I've got that as well now. It's got both. Alien 3. Maybe these are the 2 actually. Taz and Alien 3. Maybe. I don't know. I'm tripping out. Wonder Boy, which is actually my favourite game on the Game Gear. Because obviously I was so young when it came out. I don't remember going to shops and choosing games. It's just what my mum got for me. And I feel like it was short-lived. I don't know. Did the Game Boy Color come out straight after? I can't remember. I feel like it was short-lived. But yeah, Wonder Boy. I remember playing that loads. On my little skateboard with my tomahawk. Probably didn't get past first level. But I loved that. And I loved it in the arcade as well. It's a cheap game. But look, $5. But yeah, that was one of the games I had as a kid. I don't even... Do you know what? I don't actually remember having... Other than that and Sonic, I don't remember what else I had on the Game Gear, to be honest with you. Now, this one was a very good deal, to be honest with you. Right, I didn't know there was a bonkers game on the Game Gear. This is actually sold out at CEX. All the other games, he had a lot of Game Gear games in his stall, and they were all priced way too high. There's games I needed, but they were priced too high. Now, this one was £25. Now, that's a lot for a Game Gear game, but I'm sure this is like more than that at CEX, like £30 or between 25 and 30, and it's out of stock. So really, when it's like that, you could add 10% to the price. That should have been 35, 40. Do you know what I mean? So that was a bargain for £25. I can't remember if I slipped him a 20. I can't remember. But I tried to get money off all of them, and I did like a couple of times. You know, I picked up 2 games, I add the prices together. So yeah, I was absolutely buzzing at that to get the Game Gear collections. A few people have asked, the Sega Game Gear UK tour has died to death, innit? I haven't done a video of this for ages. So this has kind of rebirthed it. We've rebirthed it. But yeah, the Game Gear series is still going on. But yeah, I just haven't been to as many shops in different places. But yeah, I want to get back to the Retro Hunter and to me, so to pick their Game Gear games. But I want to play some more Game Gear games. On the next video, I'll be talking about what games I've been playing, because there's not enough time on this, and some more films I've been watching. I'm going to wrap it up with this one. I think his name is James. I want to say his name's James Welch, but I don't know why I'm full naming him, because I might have just seen that on an email at work, and I've broken it now. No, I haven't. And he is a games developer, and he is famously known for making... he made Goldtooth a game, and then Goldtooth streamed it, and I was like, wow, an actual game. I didn't realise an actual proper game that he made, and people could play it, the code was there. Well, he's made another game, and Goldtooth has texted me, goes, look out for my mate, he's there, from Retro Gamer Odyssey. Apologies if I've said the wrong name. I'm going to pop up on the screen now, because we have exchanged a couple of messages on YouTube since. But yeah, I got to meet the guy. I put a picture on the screen of him, actually. I'll put a picture on the screen of everyone I met. Well, not everyone I've met. The ones I tried to take as many photos as I could. On a Friday, I met about 30 people, and I took 5 pictures, and one of them was of a pizza. I wasn't very good at remembering to take pictures, but I was better on a Saturday. We had good bants. But yeah, so he had this game, and it's like you play as like a game collector. It was a map of England, and you go like all around the country. So you go to Essex, you can see my retro shops, Miso and Retro Hunter. Everything was done all properly, and it was so realistic. It was done in time. So like I tried to go in a game shop on a Sunday, but no, you can't go to it. It's closed on Sunday morning, but you can go to the boot sale. And if you're out too long, your missus clips you around the ear when you get in, or she like takes money off you or something at your allowance. I only played it for like brief 5 minutes, but he gave me a copy. I don't know what the long-term plan is, whether he's just making it as a hobby or he's trying out different codes and he's going to, you know, try and make some games and sell them. But he was giving them out for free. Tried to get as many people to go over and play. It was like a top-down, so yeah, sort of top-down like GTA old school, like GTA 1 sort of graphics, you know. It was really, really cool. You sort of drive around his cars, you go into shops, but there's other people in the game. So what I was absolutely blown away by, it's even in the inlays. He's named everyone that's in there. He's actually got real tubers in there, and I couldn't believe. He's got, look, Gold Tooths on there. So, Retro Head, the Gebs 24, Retro Ghetto, Emily Pops, John Riggs, the Radical One, some big tubers on there. OG Duffy, Retro Rewind. Got Blonde Logic Gaming in there. Big up to Tessa. Yeah, Retro Dodo, Dandy Games, man. Retro Gamer Boy. He's obviously a fan of the UK YouTube community, which is awesome, the gaming community. There's loads of names in there. Retro Break. Nick, he's a nice guy, and I've not seen him in a long time. Yeah, it's James Welch. The name's on here. Why didn't I check that? That's good memory for me, though. Yeah, development James Welch. So, yeah, Retro Odyssey. Have we got a website on it? Anyway, this is the inlay, basically. And then my name's in there. So I said to him, I said, oh, are you... I was like, oh, you, James, did you make the... Oh, I said, did you make the Gold Tooth game? And he was like, yeah, I introduced myself. I said, oh, I'm friends of Gold Tooth. Played the game. It was absolutely awesome. And he showed me this game. And he was like, you Scott, Marathon Gaming? I was like, yeah. And he was like, you're in the game. And I was like, no way. He made me a character in the game, or like a passive character. So you can drive past me in a car, it comes up Marathon Gaming. So I couldn't believe that. I'm actually in the game. Just blowing my mind. Wait till I tell my mum about that. Mum, I've made it. I'm in a game. Yeah, could not believe that. And it comes like a little USB. So I'm going to put that at work and give the computer a virus and give it a play. But yeah, mate, James, thank you so much. I'm going to play the game and do another dedicated video for this. And anything you want help with, mate, plug in or sharing it, then I will. Because there doesn't seem to be like a website or anything like that, or like a GoFundMe or anything. So I don't know what the big, there you go, the scenario. You've just moved to an old school city and you are starting your retro gaming collecting journey from the beginning. Drive around the city, shopping off 125 retro game shops and buy games to build up your collection. Collect games from 20 different retro platforms. So I think it's just made it for a bit of fun. It's absolutely awesome, man. I've never seen anything like it. Absolutely buzzing for that. So, James, thank you so much. And I'm going to play this game and I'm going to do a video for it. And get in contact with me, mate, if you want anyone to check out any of your other game developments, or if there's something you're working on, or if you want this shared, mate, let me know. Please reach out, because I'm happy to help. But yeah, that is basically, in a nutshell, I'm trying to like picture everyone's face. I'll put pictures on the screen of everyone that's there. We had a right laugh. Everyone was just in high spirits. Loads of drinks be flying. There's some awesome people there. And yeah, I just can't wait to see everyone again. So yeah, that's it. I've gone slightly over half an hour. So I'm going to cap it there. I don't know what else to say. It was fucking excellent. So yeah, check out everyone else's videos from the event. So just type in Play Expo 2024 and Blackpool, and I'm sure that it will come up. But yeah, guys, I'll see you next year, and let me know what is the next event. I think we've got London Gaming Market coming up and Black Country Games Fair. I think we've got coming up for October, November. Then I'm guessing that's it. But let me know. I know Tootie knows all the events because he has them listed on his video. So Tootie, if you're watching this, please let me know. And I hope you've recovered, because you disappeared. You could still be in Blackpool. We're not sure. We don't know whether to come looking for you or what. Anyway, bye-bye. I'm Mario. And I am the Hedgehog. And today, with this...